After 3 years of groveling at his feet, my wealthy husband suddenly gained the ability to read my mind. I was completely oblivious, still putting on my best act of a virtuous and gentle wife. After all, the novel said the harder I groveled, the guiltier he'd feel, and the more compensation I'd get when we divorced. Honey, can you stay with me for New Year's Eve? I know you're dying to sneak off to meet your first love. Go on, Scram, I've got my own nightlife to enjoy. To my surprise, the tycoon didn't leave. Instead, he insisted on seeing this so-called nightlife of mine. As I passed a mirror, I glanced at my reflection. This marriage material outfit was so frumpy and boring. The perfect look for a harmless little wife. Pair that with the original owner's delicate, innocent face. It was guaranteed to make Orion Moo, that cheating scumbag, feel so guilty he'd slap himself silly. The moment I pushed the door open, I wiped the triumphant smirk off my face and turned as meek as a lamb. Honey. Orion Moo didn't even bother lifting his head from the financial statements. I slipped the item I'd prepared into his coat pocket discreetly, then walked over to his side. Honey, can you stay with me for New Year's Eve? Orion Moo finally lifted his eyes, irritation flashing across his face. You bastard. I'm your wife. It's such a tiny request, what the hell are you getting so annoyed about? Orion Moo suddenly frowned. What's that noise? I looked at him in confusion, tilting my head to listen. I don't hear anything. Beneath his cold, gold-rimmed glasses, his eyes were icy. I'm not coming home tonight. I blinked and tears instantly welled up in my eyes. But I really want to welcome the new year with you. What a jerk. Not even bothering to come up with an excuse. Hurry up and look at me. The second you lift your head, my glistening tears will fall. To my shock, Orion Moo actually looked up, his expression strange. I turned my face away, stubbornly refusing to let him see my vulnerability. Honey, then go on and be busy. If you finish early, please come home. I'll wait for you. I know you're sneaking off to meet your first love tonight. Don't worry, I won't be twiddling my thumbs either. Clubbing, dancing, watching fireworks, my night's gonna be way more fun than yours. I already slipped it into your pocket. When you find it later, you'll instantly be reminded of my tenderness and generosity. You'll sigh to yourself, so. She knew everything all along. She knew, but she never said a word. How can she be so sensible? It's positively heartbreaking. Ha ha ha. I cackled triumphantly in my head. Orion Moo winced and covered one ear. I'm leaving. I turned around, grinning from ear to ear. Let the party begin. Woohoo. It's been 3 years since I transmigrated into this trashy wealthy family romance novel. I was just a side character. The female lead, Ophelia Wen, had broken up with Orion Moo to chase her dreams and gone abroad. In a fit of pique, Orion Moo had married me, a fallen daughter of a wealthy family. The original owner had been madly in love with Orion Moo, and she'd been well aware of the power his first love held over him. So she'd resorted to all sorts of underhanded tactics just to stay by his side forever. Like slipping him drugs to get herself pregnant, deleting the emails Ophelia sent him, and framing and hurting Ophelia once she came back. In the end, Orion Moo had had enough and kicked her out of the house. Unlike the original owner, I didn't love Orion Moo one bit, but I sure loved his money. The novel stated that Orion Moo had no love for the original owner, but he did feel guilty. So on the day he decided to divorce her, he'd planned to split half his assets with her. But the original owner had been so insufferable that she'd worn out all his patience. In the end, she'd only gotten a measly 1 million yuan. That was nowhere near enough for me. So for the past 3 years I'd kept my head down, never causing any trouble, and even gone out of my way to help the male and female leads reconcile. The guiltier Orion Moo felt toward me, the more money I'd get in the divorce settlement. I returned home, changed into the spicy new outfit I'd bought, and started doing my makeup and styling my hair. A tight mini skirt, thigh-high stockings with a garter belt and combat boots. Topped off with a peachy makeup look and big voluminous curls. This look might not slay men, but it sure as hell would slay women. Time to go hang out with my beautiful girls. I grabbed my black coat and brand new Chanel bag, then headed out the door in high spirits. But the second I pulled the door open, I was met with a cold, impassive face. Orion Moo was standing outside, his eyes sweeping up and down my body. Beneath his gold-rimmed glasses, a flicker of surprise flashed across his face. He curled his lips into a faint smile. Where are you off to? Ugh, ran into a buskle the second I stepped out. What bad luck. The wind howled outside, sending a chill straight to my bones. I hugged my coat tightly to my chest, trying to hide my outfit that clashed so badly with my virtuous wife persona. I thought you said you weren't coming home tonight? Orion Mu didn't seem to care about what I was wearing. He stepped aside to let me pass, then followed me in and closed the door behind him. Bending down to change his shoes, he said, I had a business dinner but I cancelled it. It's been 3 years of marriage and this is the first time you've ever asked me for something. I couldn't bear to refuse you. My phone kept buzzing in my hand. It was my girls blowing up my notifications with their urgent texts. Did I just shoot myself in the foot with my own cleverness? I was busy kicking myself when I saw Orion Mu slip his hand into his coat pocket. Oh no. He pulled out the little packet of condoms, looking utterly bewildered. The words spilled out of my mouth before I could stop them. I didn't put that there. I wanted to slap myself so hard. Orion Mu let out a low chuckle. You just confessed without even being asked. He took a step toward me and I took a step back. It's my fault. For 3 years of marriage, I haven't fulfilled my duties as a husband. I backed up until my hips hit the edge of the table. Leaning back, my legs parted even wider. Orion Mu's gaze dropped, and the air around us suddenly heated up. I get it if you're incompetent. Really, I do. After all, you have to save yourself for Ophelia when. Otherwise, she'll dump your sorry ass. His face turned pitch black with rage. Then suddenly he started taking off his clothes. First his coat, then his suit jacket, then his waistcoat. When his hand reached for his belt buckle, I screamed inside my head. Ah, what the hell did he take today? The door slammed open with a bang. I peeked over and there stood Ophelia Wen. I'd seen her countless times before. On Orion Mu's phone lock screen. Elegant, aloof, like a flower blooming on a high cliff. But at that moment Orion Mu was only wearing a white dress shirt. And somehow his hand had already landed on my thigh. Orion Mu frowned. What are you doing here? He stepped back slightly and I quickly scrambled to the side to watch the show. A flicker of hurt crossed Ophelia Wen's clear eyes. I wanted to see you. You didn't answer my calls, so I came here. I never thought that after all these years the passcode to the door lock is still my birthday. I stared at the back of Orion Mu's head, my face twisting into an expression that was 3 parts disdain, 3 parts sneer and 4 parts indifference. What a scumbag. Using your ex-girlfriend's birthday as the passcode to your marital home? You're such a creep, ugly as sin but full of tricks. To my horror, Orion Mu suddenly turned around. I quickly plastered a fake smile on my face, my cheeks almost cramping from the strain. He covered his mouth and coughed a few times. He was clearly trying not to laugh. Oh right. You can also unlock the door with your fingerprint, so I just forgot to change the passcode. Thanks for reminding me. I'll change it later. Ophelia Wen's face turned pale, but she forced a smile anyway. Orion Mu, I booked a table at that Western restaurant you love. Let's have dinner tonight, just the 2 of us. He turned to me. You don't mind if Orion Mu catches up with an old friend like me, do you? Ugh, the hypocrisy is so thick I can taste it. Good thing I don't mind at all. Hee hee. But I still had to put on a full show. I looked at Orion Mu with eyes brimming with tears, biting my lower lip as I struggled to speak. She minds. Orion Mu cut me off, pulling me into his arms. Ophelia Wen, I'm a man of few friends. I have no old friends to catch up with. And tonight, I only want to welcome the new year with my wife. Also, as an American citizen, don't you know that trespassing on private property is a very dangerous thing to do? Ophelia Wen quickly protested. I'm Chinese. Did you renounce your American citizenship and reapply for Chinese citizenship? Ophelia Wen was left speechless. Please leave. Orion Mu looked down at me, his gaze softening from cold and hard to something warmer. Watching this scene, Ophelia Wen's heart felt like it was being stabbed by 1,000 needles. She turned around gracefully, stumbling slightly as she walked away. I was completely dumbfounded. Don't go. This isn't how the story is supposed to go. You two are supposed to reconcile and kick me out. Orion Mu started putting his clothes back on. A spark of hope ignited in my eyes. I quickly fought back my sadness and said, Honey, you should go check on Ms. Wen. It's freezing outside and she's wearing so little. I'm worried she'll get sick. She's a grown woman, she should know to put on more clothes when it's cold. If she gets sick, she deserves it. He finished buttoning his shirt, then picked up my coat from the floor and draped it over my shoulders. Let's go. Go where? I'm taking you clubbing, dancing, and watching fireworks. A chill shot up my spine. Are you kidding me? Since when does he go to bars? The only famous bar nearby is Blue Tears. Please God, don't let him take me there. I tried to resist, my voice soft and sweet. Honey, I don't want to go. Orion Moo asked patiently, why not? Good girls don't go to bars. Orion Moo's eyes swept up and down my body. Alright, with the way I was dressed right now, those words were completely unconvincing. Are you more old-fashioned than someone from the Qing dynasty? I just don't want to go. I want to stay home with you, honey. Just the two of us. I just don't want to go with you. Orion Moo looked down at me. You have two choices. 1, come with me quietly. 2, I carry you there. My smile started to falter. Haha, I choose option 1. As we drove, Orion Moo's phone rang. I snuck a glance at the car's display screen. It was an unknown number. Orion Moo answered it. Orion, I'm so cold. It was Ophelia Wen. That pitiful, tearful tone was enough to melt any woman's heart. She sobbed through the wind. Orion, will you come pick me up? I'd already rehearsed my lines for the understanding, generous wife act. But Orion Moo simply tapped the screen and hung up the phone. Did he spend 10 years killing fish at RT Mart? His heart is colder than ice. The phone rang again. The second Orion Moo raised his hand to answer it, I hit the accept button first. Orion Moo shot me a glare. Ophelia Wen's cries were absolutely heart-wrenching. Orion, these past 3 years have been hell for me. I've thought about you every single day. I sent you countless emails, but you never replied to any of them. You're so cold, so heartless. But you were still the only thing keeping me going through my studies. For 3 years I've only ever wanted to marry you. I turned down every single person who showed interest in me, but you went and married someone else behind my back. Orion, do you have any idea how much it hurt me? Pine, I'm on Chunjiang Bridge right now. Will you come find me? Was she threatening to jump off the bridge? Orion Moo slammed on the brakes. A spark of hope flared in my chest. I was ready to be the generous, selfless wife. Go. Go comfort your poor little princess. Orion Moo shot me another glare, then replied to Ophelia Wen. No. He hung up the phone again, quick and clean, then turned to me. Eleanor, we're here. I turned to look out the window. The neon sign for Blue Tears glowed in the night. I forced a smile, fighting the urge to scream. Haha, this place looks great. Awesome. Orion Moo got out of the car, walked around to the passenger side and opened the door for me. Get out. I dragged my feet, lingering in the car seat. Orion Moo leaned down, his voice low and dangerous, like a devil whispering in my ear. Eleanor, are you waiting for me to carry you? I instantly unbuckled my seatbelt, moving as fast as I could. Orion Moo took my hand and led me into Blue Tears, where we found an empty booth to sit in. The band on stage was playing Elopement, the lights swaying gently. I spotted my friend Celeste Man. In my original world, I'd been a fashion blogger. After transmigrating into this book, I'd picked up the same career and now I had over 100,000 followers. I'd met Celeste by chance. She had a tomboyish style, standing tall at 178 centimeters, looking like a fresh, handsome young man. We'd hit it off right away and often hung out together. I wasn't worried about Orion Moo seeing me online. After all, the only apps on his phone were for financial news, political updates, sports and health. He didn't even have any short video apps. Celeste spotted me too, and she was now staring in our direction. I received a text from her. I think I just saw you. Don't think it's me. Celeste stomped over to our table, texting me furiously as she walked. Damn it. I thought you said you weren't coming. Girl, don't come over here. My scumbag husband is with me. I can't let him see me break character. Celeste's footsteps faltered. She turned to me and slowly grinned, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Even more reason for me to come over and take a look. Orion Moo leaned closer to me. Who are you texting? Just a friend. A girl. Celeste had somehow gotten her hands on a bartender's vest. She walked over to our table holding a drinks menu. Good evening, handsome. Good evening, beautiful. What can I get you too? Orion Moo replied, cold but polite. A glass of soda water, please. Celeste stared at him like he was some kind of alien, then turned to me. And what about you, miss? A glass of fresh orange juice, please. Two weirdos. Orion Moo suddenly turned to me. If you want, you can have a drink or two. I'll take good care of you. I lied through my teeth, my face perfectly calm. Honey, I'm such a lightweight. One sip and I'd be drunk. In reality, I once drank an entire table of northeastern men under the table. Celeste looked at me, her expression pure disgust. She typed on her phone as she walked back to the bar. You're such a terrible actress. Seriously, this guy is nothing like you. Why on earth did you marry him? Just because he's hot. There was no way Celeste, with her rational mind, would ever understand the concept of transmigrating into a book. I came up with a reason that I knew would shut her up for good. He's amazing in bed. Celeste turned to look at me, her expression a mix of shock and admiration. That is indeed a rare and valuable quality. But can you even handle him? Shut up, you jerk. Orion Moo and I really were two worlds apart. Even in a bar, the atmosphere between us was awkward and dull. I sipped my orange juice, fighting to stay awake. A group of young men and women burst through the door, laughing and shouting. I glanced up at them out of sheer boredom, and my sleepiness vanished instantly. Wasn't Ophelia one supposed to be threatening to jump off a bridge? Why is she here? Orion Moo can't see her. If he does, everything will be ruined. I sat up straight abruptly, blocking Orion Moo's view with my body. Honey, I feel dizzy. I overdid it, losing my balance. I was about to tumble off the sofa when Orion Moo wrapped an arm around my waist just in time. Ophelia Wen and her group walked right past our booth. Orion Moo pulled me closer to him, his chest pressed against my back. I placed my hands on his chest to steady myself, my face burning with embarrassment. Honey, let's go home. Eleanor. Yes. He stared intently into my eyes, his voice soft. Do you think I'll ever meet someone in this life that I can truly trust? The sudden, out-of-the-blue question left me at a loss for words. Seeing that I had nothing to say, Orion Moo helped me stand up and led me out of the booth. I thought we were going home, so I followed him happily, only to realize he was walking deeper into the bar. Ophelia Wen was laughing and chatting with the people around her, the center of attention, not a trace of sadness or depression on her face. Orion Moo stood in a dark corner, watching the lively scene quietly. I still couldn't figure out how they'd gone from being deeply in love to this complete disaster. Ophelia Wen took off her coat, then walked up to the stage with a guy talking to the band. A moment later, the opening notes of Dangerous Party started playing. The two of them were a handsome couple, drawing the attention of everyone in the bar. Their sexy dance moves, the lingering looks they exchanged, the intimate touches of their bodies, she even placed her hand in his palm, like she was giving him her whole heart. The crowd cheered and hooped, the atmosphere growing more and more heated. But all I could feel was how lonely Orion Moo looked. Before I knew it, I reached out and took his hand. He looks so miserable that I don't even have the heart to make fun of him anymore. Orion Moo squeezed my hand back, then pulled a confused me through the crowd all the way to the front of the stage. Ophelia Wen was dancing energetically, but the second she saw Orion Moo, her smile and movements froze at the same time. Orion. She dropped her dance partner's hand, jumped off the stage and tried to grab Orion Moo's arm. But he stepped back, dodging her touch. Orion, let me explain. Fine. Explain. Ophelia Wen clearly hadn't expected him to agree to listen, and she stumbled over her words. I was so upset when you turned me down tonight. My friends brought me here to cheer me up. I was standing right there watching the drama unfold up close, when out of nowhere Ophelia Wen's gaze locked onto me. Orion Moo never touches a drop of alcohol. Did you drag him here? You already stole Orion Moo from me, was that not enough? Why are you going out of your way to ruin our relationship? Are you okay, lady? I've been trying my hardest to get you two back together this whole time. Why are you barking at me like a mad dog? I opened my mouth to defend myself, but before I could say a word, Ophelia Wen snatched a glass of wine from a nearby spectator and splashed it straight at my face. Ah, that's cold. I had no idea how I managed to make such a dumb, annoying sound in the middle of this tense standoff. Thankfully, my makeup was waterproof. Orion Moo pushed Ophelia Wen hard. Ophelia Wen, you're crazy. Ophelia Wen stumbled backward. The people she'd come with immediately swarmed over, surrounding us and threatening Orion Mu. How dare you push her? Do you want to lose your hands? Pushing a girl like that, are you even a man? Ophelia loves you so much, but you'd hit her for this two-faced bitch? I was wiping my face with the handkerchief Orion Mu had handed me when I suddenly stepped forward, putting my arm out to shield him behind my back. Don't be scared, son. Daddy will protect you. Celeste showed up with her friends, yelling, "Who do you think you're yelling at?" She stood in front of me protectively, showing off to the other side. "Eleanor, don't be scared. My 3 buddies are all martial arts pros. Beating these losers is easier than spanking a kid." The 2 sides immediately started screaming at each other, emotions running high. The bar owner jumped onto the stage, shouting at the top of his lungs. "No fighting. No fighting. This place is connected to the police station. If you dare fight, the cops will be here in 3 minutes." Ophelia looked at Orion Mu with tears glistening in her eyes, pressing a hand to the spot where he'd pushed her hard. "Orion, once upon a time, you always pitied me for being weak and fragile. You said you'd protect me for the rest of your life. But just now, you actually hurt me." Orion Mu didn't fall for her moral blackmail at all. "You splashed wine on Eleanor first. Ophelia, I've never been the kind of man who spoils every woman he meets. The only people I cherish are my own. So I'm just an outsider now? You've been an outsider for a long time." Ophelia burst into tears, her voice tinged with despair. "Orion, why did things have to end up like this between us?" I wanted to know the answer to that question too. I didn't know the reason, and Ophelia clearly didn't either, which meant only Orion Mu knew the truth. Orion Mu said, "I read every single email you sent me. In those emails you said you missed me, that you loved me, that you couldn't eat or sleep because you thought of me so much. But do you know what you were doing right after you sent those emails? I tracked down your Instagram through your email address. You were at parties, racing cars, soaking up the admiration and attention of other men. You weren't suffering at all. So why did you come here and put on this pathetic act?" Finally clicked for me. In the novel, the original owner had intercepted all those emails. Orion Mu hadn't read them until after Ophelia came back to the country. Each email was filled with deep, heartfelt longing sent without fail for 3 years straight. They'd instantly reignited the suppressed feelings Orion Mu had for her. The 2 of them had gotten back together, focusing all their energy on driving the original owner, who'd made a huge scene out of the house. Orion Mu had never bothered to dig deeper into what Ophelia's life in America had really been like. But I hadn't done that. The emails had awakened Orion Mu's repressed longing. He'd been desperate to find out more about what Ophelia was up to now, but too proud to ask directly, so he'd looked for answers on his own. And what he'd found was a life completely different from his own. He'd been drowning in the darkness of his broken heart, while Ophelia had been living it up, as if she'd never been bothered by their past relationship at all. Ophelia shot back at him. "Orion, are you not happy that I've been doing well? Did you only want to be satisfied if my life fell apart? In a situation like this, explaining yourself only put you on the defensive." Orion Mu knew that all too well. So he parted his lips slightly, delivering a line that cut straight to the heart. "I'm really just wasting my breath talking to a brick wall." I couldn't hold it in, I burst out laughing. Then I quickly clamped a hand over my mouth. "Please don't splash wine on my face again, Ophelia." Orion Mu reached out and pulled me behind him. "Ophelia, I brought Eleanor here to have fun tonight. Running into you was just a coincidence. Speaking of which, I have something to say to you too. Our relationship ended the moment you broke up with me to force me to go abroad with you. I don't consider you a friend, and I have no interest in catching up with you. I'll return your words right back to you. Please stop scheming and trying to ruin the relationship between me and my wife, Eleanor." After Orion Mu finished speaking, he took my hand and headed for the door. One of the guys Ophelia had come with tried to play the hero, stepping in front of us. "Who said you could leave? Get back here and explain yourself." Celeste pushed him out of the way. "Cut the crap. Who do you think you're fooling? Even a dog would kneel down and call you master for how hard you're licking her boots. You dare say that again?" The bar owner started yelling again. "No fighting. No fighting." Ophelia ran over, crying as she tried to stop Orion Mu. "Orion Mu, don't go. Please don't leave." She even threatened him. "If you walk out that door today, we're over for good. I mean it." Orion Mu shielded me with his body, dodging her as he walked toward the exit. "Orion Mu, I'll make you regret this. I swear I will. The noise and chaos faded behind us. When we pushed open the bar door, the cold night wind hit us, sharp and biting, clearing my head instantly. Ophelia when either doesn't understand or she's pretending not to. But I get it now. What disappointed Orion Mu wasn't that she was doing better than him. It was her hypocrisy. I looked at Orion Mu's profile and before I knew it, my eyes were stinging with tears. Two-faced, saying one thing but doing another. I'm just as hypocritical as Ophelia when. Orion Mu suddenly stopped walking, then turned to look down at me. Eleanor, can you promise me something? What is it? Dark emotions flickered in Orion Mu's eyes. No matter what happened in the past. From now on, can you stop lying to me? He added, his voice softening. If there's something you don't want me to know, you don't have to tell me. But can you please not lie to me? To be honest, Orion Mu had always treated me well. A huge luxury apartment to live in, luxury cars to drive, a monthly allowance of 150,000 yuan. He never restricted my freedom, never forced me to share a bed with him, never pressured me to have a baby. He'd given me everything I'd never even dared to dream of in my previous life. The only thing was he'd always been a little cold toward me. If I hadn't read the novel first, if I hadn't gone into this marriage convinced that he was still in love with someone else, that he'd eventually divorce me, I never would have felt so much hostility toward him. And the truth was right here in front of me. Orion Mu had rejected Ophelia when firmly and without hesitation, and he'd protected me so well tonight. All that hostility I'd felt was gone now, replaced by a heavy, overwhelming sense of guilt. I nodded. I promise you. Orion Mu thanked me sincerely. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Why did he have to be like this? I felt so guilty that I wanted to slap myself. Can I ask you something? He said. What is it? The guy who came to take our drink order earlier. Oh. Him. Her. I corrected myself after a moment, realizing what he meant. That's my friend. She's actually a girl, she just dresses in a more tomboyish style. How did you two meet? I thought for a moment, then told him everything about being a video blogger. I added quickly at the end, but don't ask me for my account name. I'm never revealing my secret identity. Orion Mu laughed. Alright, I won't ask. Let me change the question. Eleanor, do you prefer your usual style of dressing, or the way you're dressed right now? I pouted, then mumbled quietly, the way I'm dressed now. You look beautiful no matter what you wear, he said. But I want you to wear what you really like, not what you think will please someone else. A warm, fuzzy feeling spread through my chest. I understand. He reached out and ruffled my hair gently. Let's get in the car. Are we going home? No. I'm taking you to watch the fireworks. Fireworks were being set off by the river. As soon as the car stopped, I jumped out and raced to grab the perfect spot to watch. Then I turned around and waved at him. Honey. Hurry up. Come here. I felt something soft and furry rubbing against my legs. Looking down, I saw a golden retriever staring up at me, its tail wagging furiously, its mouth open in a big happy smile. I knelt down and petted the dog, feeling instantly refreshed and happy. Orion Mu walked over, wrapping a warm blanket around my shoulders. You like dogs? I grinned at him. Super duper like them. Especially big fluffy ones. The first firework shot up into the night sky, bursting into a shower of golden sparks that rained down like shooting stars in every direction. I was so excited that my vocabulary completely deserted me and I could only yell over and over. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Orion Mu pulled me gently into his arms. For a moment the noise of the crowd faded away. I heard his voice clearly, soft and warm, right next to my ear. Eleanor, Happy New Year. Orion Mu's daily routine changed dramatically. He used to leave early and return late, spending most weekends at his villa in the suburbs. Every time I'd have to go to his company to bring him meals and clothes, showering him with care to win his favor. But during this New Year's holiday he never left. He worked out in the morning, went grocery shopping and cooked afterward, then handled his work in the afternoon. He took care of my daily needs, helping me pick up packages, buying things for me, yet he never intruded on my space. I sat in my room editing videos, listening to the sound of him chopping vegetables in the kitchen. Living with him. Why did it feel so comfortable? When the holiday ended, Orion Mu went back to work. He still made me breakfast every morning, called to check on me at noon, and came home a little earlier every night. What made my heart flutter the most was that he'd ask if I craved anything on his way home, and he'd detour to get it for me no matter how far it was. That night Orion Moo came home. As usual, I rushed to greet him, overjoyed. He's here. He's here. He's bringing my barbecue skewers. Orion Moo held a bag of barbecue skewers in his left hand, and a pet carrier in his right. Inside the carrier was a tiny golden retriever puppy. I stared at it in shock. Whose dog is this? Ours. Orion Moo opened the carrier. The little golden retriever trotted out timidly and nuzzled my feet. I held my breath, looking up at Orion Moo. You're letting me keep a dog at home? Under the warm orange lights he smiled at me. I'm busy with work sometimes. With him here to keep you company, I can rest easy. I picked up the puppy, burying my face in its soft fur, and tears streamed down my cheeks. Wah! I finally have my own dog. Orion Moo reached out his hand as if to wipe my tears away. He's been so good to me. I don't even know how to bring up the divorce anymore. Orion Moo's hand froze in midair. Thank you, honey. Orion Moo nodded silently, then turned and went back to his own room. I was so caught up in the joy of having a puppy that I didn't notice the shift in his mood. I was playing with the puppy when Celeste Man called me. I excitedly told her about my new dog. Cut the celebration short and check Pomegranate right now. Someone's trashing you. I hugged the golden retriever tightly and pulled out my phone. Pomegranate was the video platform in this world, the one where I posted my content. An account named East Side Sheep, with over 500,000 followers, had posted a long rant, labeling me a low-morality gold digger who'd stolen someone else's boyfriend to marry into a wealthy family. The post was full of evidence and sounded so convincing. The comments section was flooded with insults directed at me. Look at how she dresses, total skank. Homewreckers deserve to die. Ugh, I can't believe I followed her. Unsubscribing immediately. Unsub +1. I stayed up all night making a clarification video, and my loyal fans helped share it to set the record straight. But most people were already convinced I was a homewrecker and paid no attention to my explanation. I saw right through it. They'd hired a ton of trolls to drown out my voice, and as a solo creator I stood no chance against them. Then East Side Sheep posted photos of Ophelia Wen, pushing the public opinion to a fever pitch. Wow. She's absolutely gorgeous. Pure and elegant, nothing like that tacky slut. One's an angel, the other's a whore. Is that guy blind? Dumping such a beautiful woman to marry a tramp. Guess he's just into her body. I'd lost 50,000 followers and Celeste Man was dragged into the scandal too. You're such good friends with a homewrecker, are you one too? Birds of a feather flock together, that's for sure. Celeste Man lost a lot of followers too and she was panicking. Eleanor, what are we gonna do? Faced with this organized, premeditated smear campaign, and the public's obsession with gossip over truth, I was completely powerless to fight back. I tried reaching out to the big influencers I knew, asking if they'd be willing to help me out. The same people who'd called me sister just days ago now ignored my calls. Some even blocked me outright. Celeste Man called me again, her voice urgent. Check the #1 trending topic right now. Is that your husband? The #1 trending topic was Orion Moo. He'd registered an account and posted a clear timeline of his breakup with Ophelia Wen, followed by his blind date and marriage to me. He attached a statement. My marriage to Eleanor is legal, moral, and not up for anyone's slander. I will pursue legal action against every single person who spreads rumors and defames her. The official account of Orion Moo's company reposted his statement and tagged me, the much talked about Mrs. Moo. P.S. Our company's legal team is ready to go. Orion Moo's company had countless A-list celebrity brand ambassadors, who all rushed to repost his statement. In an instant the tide turned completely. Comments bashing East Side Sheep for spreading lies flooded in. This guy's a professional rumormonger, looks like he finally messed with the wrong person this time. Hope he gets sued into bankruptcy. Strangers flocked to my account to show their support. This is like a billionaire romance novel come to life. The CEO defending his wife is so hot. Celebrity fans showed up to curry favor. Hi Mrs. Moo. Our idol was the first to repost. Consider renewing his endorsement contract. How can the wife of the Inchi Group CEO only have 100,000 followers? That's totally unacceptable. Everyone go follow her right now. Plus, Mrs. Mu has amazing fashion sense and makeup skills. We can all learn from her. I'd rather learn how to find a husband like Mr. Mu. Mrs. Mu, please start a class. My follower count skyrocketed overnight, and Celeste Man benefited from the attention too. She stared at the screen in disbelief. I'm such a country bumpkin, I've never seen anything like this before. Eleanor, is your husband this awesome all the time? The big influencers who'd blocked me suddenly reappeared, sending me messages. Babe. My phone glitched out, I have no idea how I ended up blocking you. As if I'd buy that load of crap. I let out a cold laugh and blocked all of them, deleting their messages for good. I pushed open the door and went to find Orion Mu. The door to the master bedroom was ajar. Orion Mu was lying on a capsule chair by the glass window, a book covering his face, basking lazily in the sunlight. I walked over to him and took his hand. Thank you, honey. Orion Mu lifted the book and pulled his hand away from mine. It's my fault you got dragged into this mess. I disrupted your little world. That familiar coldness and distance seemed to have returned. The little golden retriever trotted over too, gnawing on Orion Mu's slippers and pawing at his pants, trying to climb up. Orion Mu stared down at the puppy for a moment, then moved his foot away. Take him back to your room. I want to take a nap. I looked at Orion Mu's handsome profile, a dull ache throbbing in my chest. What was wrong with him? Had I done something to make him angry? I picked up the golden retriever and walked away, glancing back at him every few steps. I saw on the news that Ophelia Wen's family company was having cash flow problems. A few days later, the Wen family announced Ophelia Wen's engagement to Zhao Xiao. Zhao Xiao was the second male lead in the original novel. I was still getting tons of attention with product endorsement offers pouring in non-stop. I turned them all down and posted a new video instead. I finally have a dog. Everyone, help me think of a name for him. At noon, Orion Mu came home. I bounced over to him, grinning from ear to ear. Honey, why are you home so early? What did you bring me? I took the box from his hand, my eyes lighting up. Wow, Black Forest cake. Thank you, honey. I spun around happily with the cake in my hands. The golden retriever chased my footsteps, and we both headed to the dining table together. I've gained quite a bit of weight lately. Honey, take me to the gym with you. Orion Mu sat down across from me and slid a document across the table. It was a divorce agreement. Eleanor, let's get a divorce. You've lived in this apartment longer, so it's yours. I'll move out today. You can pick any of the other properties or cars you want. Take as many as you like. I don't have much personal savings, but they're all yours. So many people are paying attention to you right now. We can keep the divorce a secret for now and announce it in a year. In the meantime, you're free to date whoever you want. If you ever need help in the future, don't hesitate to come to me. Don't carry everything alone and stay up all night worrying. I'm not much use, but I can still keep you safe and sound. I couldn't hear a word he said after that. My mind was stuck on one sentence. Let's get a divorce. You want a divorce? A sharp pain pierced my heart and tears gushed out of my eyes, streaming down my face faster than I could wipe them away. Is it because Ophelia Wen got engaged? You still have feelings for her, don't you? You're gonna go stop her wedding, aren't you? Orion Mu shook his head. No. It has nothing to do with her. Like I'd believe that load of garbage. I wanted to smash the cake in his face, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I wiped my tears and ran back to my room, throwing myself onto the bed and sobbing uncontrollably. The mattress beside me sank slightly. Orion Mu sat down and stroked my hair. Eleanor, don't cry. I slapped his hand away. Leave me alone. Orion Mu sighed and stood up, but I pounced on him, knocking him back onto the bed. Tears streaming down my face, I straddled his waist and roughly tore at his shirt. I'm not getting a divorce. Orion Mu, I'm telling you, forget about getting back together with Ophelia Wen. If you dare divorce me, I'll hang myself at the entrance of your company. You're stuck with me for the rest of your life. Orion Mu lay on the soft bed, his face looking especially handsome against the plain white sheets. Eleanor, haven't you always wanted a divorce? You just didn't know how to say it, so I'm saying it for you. I wanted a divorce before. But I don't want it anymore. I kissed his face recklessly, nipping at his shoulders. The golden retriever barked loudly at the foot of the bed. He was cheering me on. Good boy. Emboldened by his barks, I slid my hand down to Orion Moo's belt buckle. In an instant the world spun around me and I was pinned underneath him. Orion Moo stared down at me, his eyes dark and intense. No divorce then. I'm stuck with you for the rest of my life.